on Elevation Radio.
God bless you. This is Elevation Radio 1, and I'm your host, Pastor Steve, the Music Man Turner. And thank you for taking the journey with us. This is the program that's positive people while serving a positive God whose name is Jesus, and we are very proud of that. This is a special doubleheader today. Our second program today at 6:30, and its subject matter is called Pandemic Mountains. Pandemic Mountains. Can you climb this mountain? My goodness, mountain climbing is not an easy lifestyle. You have to be strong. Surviving this era of pandemic shutdowns and virus activity and stay-at-home orders and executive orders and are not for the faint. Today, we will interview a survivor of the pandemic. And so we're grateful. If you have an opinion, if you have a story that where you've survived, God has helped you survive this pandemic experience and this time frame, then by all means give us a call at 1-914-205-5353, 1-914-205-5353. And we will go now to our verse to rehearse from Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 and 2, by the lovely First Lady Leora Turner.
Praise the Lord. And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying,
and what he was saying was something wonderful, something positive, something fantastic. And that's important, especially now in a time frame where there is trouble. And the pandemic coronavirus, an engineer who works here in the state of Maryland, that the pandemic, my goodness, hold on to your hats. Those across the nation was started here in Baltimore. And on a street called Bel Air Road, there's a lab out there that I was told sold or traded the pandemic coronavirus to Wuchang, China. So it was started here. Good God Almighty. And once they got it over there, it is somehow, as they tried to play with it, it escaped. Like a scientist makes a mad scientist in the movie, the monster escapes. It has escaped and affected us all. So now we're dealing with mountains, not just spiritual mountains, but now we're dealing with social mountains, viruses, and activities, and it has affected all of us and has even made Dr. Fauci a rock star. He's always in some media, tired of seeing him. So let me go to my guest, Pastor Teryy Tuck. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed.
Okay. Now, I understand you are a pastor of a new church called what now?
Transformation Temple.
Okay. God bless you, sir. I understand that you are a pastor in the pandemic. You have you had an experience with coronavirus, and what was it?
Well, I actually have it.
I'm saying, say it again, sir.
I actually have it.
Tell us more.
COVID-19.
Okay. Tell us more.
Well, a lot of people never heard of the last responders. Last responders are those who are the last ones to touch the bodies, the funeral directors, the transporters, and stuff of that nature. And preachers who preach these services. Because people don't realize that, especially if they died within a short length of time, so people that came to their services may have been around them and caught it. And now you're, you're around them, and now you can catch it.
Mm.
So, unfortunately, I caught it, but I've learned that, in life, there are going to be some good times and some bad times,
Mm-hmm.
And diseases and all that. It's all for a purpose and a reason, and it's okay to have these things. Just don't let it have you.
Mm.
And see, I refuse to give up. I live my life, as much as I can. Right now I'm quarantined, but it doesn't stop me from picking up the word. It doesn't stop me from zooming in on Wednesdays with the Bible studies. I haven't gone back. Excuse me. My bishop is actually days on Sundays to bring the word until I get better. Yeah. But again, it just strengthens me because, believe it or not, we all have the characteristics, dreams, visions that a lot of the prophets had back in the day. Like now, I look back over my life, and when I accepted my calling, first I just wanted to be a minister, and I said, okay, that'll just be it. But then people started following me, and I know churches were asking for me and stuff, and then it was like I had to sit down and talk with God, and God said, yes, in a while, just wait, and I have something for you. And I'm reminded in that of Hezekiah. Hezekiah, who God made a covenant with and told him, if you live right, if you do this and you do that, when the time is right, you'll become a ruler over many nations. And he made that covenant with Hezekiah. But then the prophet Isaiah came in the courts, and said, this sickness that you have, you shall surely die. But because he had a relationship with God, him and God had already talked this thing out. He did what God is still asking us to do right now. Turn our back towards wickedness. I'm not saying that Isaiah was wicked, because Isaiah wouldn't have said what he said if God had not told him to say it. But he told him that this sickness that you have is surely unto death. But because he had the relationship with God, he turned his back to what man was saying and looked to the hills from which surely his help came. That's the point where I found myself when they told me that I was positive. And I said, okay. But God, when I said I just wanted to, be in the number, and you said that, no, you want more. I had to push myself, and I did that. And now that you give me the position that you have, I have a man coming to me telling me that I have a disease that I could surely die. People are dying around me all the time. Every time I turn the news on, that's all I hear about, how many people died. But because I have a relationship with God, and I trust and believe anything that he said, just like he told Hezekiah, Isaiah, you go back and you tell him that I'll restore 15 years back to his life, but get your house in order. I don't know how many more years God is going to add to my life, but it's all time for me to even get closer to him. You know, with this quarantine going on, I'm not upset because I can walk with Jesus. I can tell him all about my troubles. You know, the good part, he's hearing my every cry. I tell you, man, God has just been awesome. I have no regrets.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask Lady Leora. You almost lost your husband to the pandemic virus, which was misdiagnosed back in February, the second week in February. And
right.
How did that affect you when the doctors told you that I was not going to make it?
Well, first of all, one, I didn't accept that. Number two, when I saw that you were, because you're not really a lazy person, so you was laying around and you just wasn't eating right and you wasn't doing things. You didn't want to go out. You didn't want to do things. So that part affected me because we were so used to going. And so when I saw that wasn't happening, I said, well, something is wrong. I think we should go to the doctors. Of course, as a man, he doesn't want to go.
Why do you say that now?
Yes.
The truth
he
is
didn't want to go, but I insist on him going. And when we got to the hospital, we got halfway up the hill after he parked, and he said, I can't go no further. You got to get a wheelchair. So I walked up the hill, went into the hospital, got the wheelchair, and brought it to him, and we rolled back into the hospital. I knew at that point he was weak, but of course I never heard of the name coronavirus. I didn't know a symptom of I just didn't know of corona. All I know is that he had a lost appetite. He was weak. He was throwing up. He had a high fever, almost 103. He was almost delirious. He was just, he had a cough, unbearable cough, and he doesn't cough ever. So I knew that something was wrong, and I simply thought, wow, either you got asthma or you got the flu.
And I couldn't taste my food either.
I beg your pardon?
I couldn't taste my food, and that really affects me. Couldn't taste it.
Right. I kept putting the same food in front of him, but he would taste it, and that's about it, and he wouldn't eat. I'm like, this is not like him because he can eat.
Watch it now.
No,
he was not eating.
Watch yourself. I need some help here.
I knew that something went wrong because we was in the hospital. It was like the doctor said, this doesn't look good right now. They came back and told us that he had double pneumonia, and he had the flu on top of the double pneumonia, and he had a fever, and his blood count went down very low to like 9 or 6, something like that, which didn't look good, and just a lot of things going on, all at one time. So I'm like, what could this possibly be, Lord? So what I did, I just prayed. I didn't ask a friend. I didn't ask anybody. I just went in my secret closet, wherever I was, and I just prayed. You know?
And that's good.
It made it feel like it was.
Hold on a second.
I'm gonna make it.
No. I gotta cut you right here. I was on a ventilator machine and also a heart monitor. And let me go. So I was really messed up at the point of death. I didn't know that. Now I have a caller here. Who's on the line?
Oh, I'm not sure. Is that me?
I'm talking to you, sir. Always a problem. Let me introduce you. It is Professor Leroy McKenzie Jr., CEO of JNF Enterprises It's incredible.
Amen.
As many times as Pastor Tuck that he's been on this radio program as a celebrity co-host, he should know that I'm talking to him. Good God Almighty. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. How about everybody?
We've got Pastor Teryy Tuck, new pastor of Transformation Temple. And we also have the lovely Lady Leora. We're discussing pandemic mountains. Can you climb this mountain? The mountain of pandemic. What's your take on it, sir?
Well, I think it's been something that none of us have ever dealt with before. What I've told people is this is a shift that's going on right now, and you can handle this shift one of two ways. You can shift to the right, or you can shift to the left, which is you can either make it to the other side or just sit and complain and just shift and not be and be complacent and sit in it. Those who will see this as as something that they can hunker down on and not be, just not be still, not be just kind of sit around and do nothing, or those of us who are who are making the best of this, who are being active, who are making plans, who are making plans and doing those things that we need to do in order to be able to make it to the other side of this shift. That's totally up to you. That's how I've seen it. I've surrounded myself with individuals who we're all banding together. We all in this together, and we're going to make it through this. And that's what it's been. It's about giving people hope, letting people know that they can make it, giving them direction, showing them how to be able to successfully do the things that they need to do in order to be able to make it to the other side.
Okay. Now, I must say this now, nothing personal against you because you're okay. But if I hear that word again, that phrase, we're all in this together, I'm going to choke someone because that came from Donald Trump. I remember him in the press conference when he said it. And now I see it in commercials. I see it in advertising and all that. We're not in this together because if we were in it together, I'd have the vaccine. And like you did, Donald Trump, I would have it and I wouldn't have to wear a mask. I would be able to travel. I would, like Mr. Pence, walking in hospitals without mask and all that because they've already got the vaccine. Lord have mercy. And so, let me go. Huh? What'd you say now? Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Donald Trump talking about opening things. Now, everything that he's talking about opening, hair salons, barbershops, basketball courts and stuff like that, are things that black people patronize. You don't hear them saying nothing about racquetball, tennis, the tanning and all. Nothing that white people patronize. Are they talking about opening? Think about it. Not to take up for them or anything like this, and I don't know if anyone has the answer to this, but I think the golf courses are open.
The beaches are open in Florida, and the rest in Georgia. Because,
several other states too.
Yeah. Economically, they're not going to sit around and lose money. How can I have this? How can I have this? Emma, grab the kids and let's get on out of here. Open up the businesses. I need my money. That's important because they have money, and there's some people. Pastor Tuck, there are some black people that can weather the storm of pandemic mountains because they have excessive money, even offshore Cayman Islands and bullion and gold coins. and I don't want to mention who it is, but he's on the line. Professor Leroy McKenzie Jr. makes his own money. He's getting most of my money. So I mean, sweetheart, if I can't buy you the dress, right to the pockets of Leroy McKenzie Jr.
Oh, God.
RAs, Fortune 493Bs. I mean, everything you think of. I'm sorry. Pastor Tuck, if you don't know Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., he's in every major book signing, book releasings, conferences. He's always in the VIP red carpet segment. Might be a good person to get to know.
Is Mama on the phone?
Mama.
Do I need to get her on you?
Won't be the first. Pastor Tuck, help me out. Listen, if somebody's got an opinion, call it 1-914-205-5353. If you would like to know about surviving pandemic mountains from the spiritual side, or surviving pandemic mountains from the financial side, like your friend Dr. Leroy McKenzie, wealth connoisseur. Go ahead, Pastor Tuck, and tell us. You say in the first program that you were a bad seed, did bad things. What bad things did you do, sir? Now that you're a pastor, confess is good for the soul.
Huh? What was that? Excuse me. Okay. Now, what you say? Hello?
Is that okay? Did you? So he's trying to escape the question I asked him, but pretending like he didn't hear it.
I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. We love you, but I said you said in the first program that you were a bad boy. You did some bad things. Now that you're a pastor, living clean and holy, what were the things that you used to do when you were a gangster?
Well, I was normally the lookout person. I was the one who, if somebody wanted to fight you or something like that, I was the one because I was a fighter. And I used to ask professional. And it was just one of those type of situations. And they were doing some wrong stuff, and they would give me something because I would watch out or whistle and all that kind of stuff.
So you lookout man.
I was still just as guilty as they were.
So thank God that you didn't catch any charges.
Exactly. My God is able.
I tell you, I'm glad I didn't meet you when I was doing police work, sir. Okay, so you have had the virus. I had the virus, and we have survived. We were able to cross and climb the pandemic mountain, and look on the other side. So I'm here to tell somebody that God is a miracle working God that can deliver you even when you don't know what it is that you have. He can look out for you. That prayer absolutely, positively changes things because it saved my life, and I know it saved yours, Pastor Tuck. And you're going to come out of that fine. You're going to be all right. Yeah, some people are actually...
I don't like the way that they claim you to be clear. Because God called me today from the city and says to me that in another 7 days, if no more signs, this has to be 21 days. I've never had everything at once. Either I had diarrhea for a half hour, that was it. I had the chills for half hour, that was it. Hot sweats, half hour. My breathing was fine, and I started just coughing. Fever never went above 102, but he's telling me that I don't want to I'm done, within those days, they'll call back, and if I don't have any symptoms, then I'm clear. And the state will write me a letter that I have to carry with me.
What?
To say that I'm considered clear. They will not test you again unless you are worse. And if you get worse, you go in the hospital anyway. But if things don't get worse than what they are, then they're just going to assume that you're clear.
Amazing. So you need a letter to walk around with. It's sort of like a back in slavery, you had to have the ID.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. See, it almost makes you to the point to where you don't want to share it. I mean, talk about it. When I say share, not transmit it. Okay.
Wow.
But because people will quickly come to conclusions.
Oh yeah.
Because I've noticed quite a few people have stopped calling. But I'm not worried about that. As long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. I thank God for those who stand by me, that call me, and just say hello. I'm not looking for no pity party. I don't want no pity party.
So you're saying you've could possibly be ostracized by the clergy community because you have had the virus?
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't say that. You didn't say that, did you?
Did I? I didn't say
you sound like
excuse me. I didn't say oops nor excuse me. So
okay.
I think I meant that.
Okay. Well, so wow. I mean, we've had some pastors that have died different in New York, Brooklyn, and some other places. So, what is their family going to be ostracized? I mean, who are you to ostracize anybody? And I see why. Maybe I see why this is happening.
6 pastors here.
6?
6 pastors in Baltimore City. The families are saying?
No.
Don't tell nobody.
What?
I'll keep this hush.
Can you believe that, Mackenzie? Dr. Mackenzie? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to scare him off.
See what I mean? You start talking about that. Let me get off here. This gonna come through the phone.
Oh my God. Let me see where my Leora.
Yes.
I didn't scare you off. He didn't scare you off, did he? All right now. Oh, thing over there. I think he got. Wait till he gets one. I think he got scared. He left off the phone. Dr. Mackenzie Jr.
No. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, right. I mean, we were talking about 6 pastors in the city that have been deceased because of the coronavirus, but their families, when Pastor Teryy Tuck picked their bodies up, they didn't told him not to tell anybody that they died of the coronavirus. Are we still trying to withhold an image? Afraid of people's opinion, because he said they're probably afraid of the ostracizing and the blackballing. I mean, how can you blackball on a situation like this? You didn't ask for that. It happened. It's a tragedy.
Exactly.
I mean, what's wrong with people?
Your immune system. I'm just thankful that I have the type of immune system that I have, that is fighting it off daily, every day. My niece has it, and she's been going to work for the last 2 weeks. I've been trying to tell her to go to the hospital. She wouldn't go, because she's so concerned about losing money. She's got. She has to have her very first vacation days, and she's been working there 25 years, maybe even more. And she teaches COs how to be COs over the jail.
Okay.
So, she finally took vacation and went to the Mardi Gras. Other than that, she don't go no place. She don't do nothing but work. And she was so afraid that she was going to lose some money. So she waited. The bills got painful to her. She went and they told her it was COVID-19. And let me tell you something. I can't believe that she was happy to say, well, now I'll get Corona fee.
Corona who?
Like, over the jail, if you contract COVID-19, the jail will pay you what they're calling Corona-19 fee.
What is that?
Where it can come out of your vacation time. It doesn't come out of anything. And it's more than what you would get. I'm like, really?
So you're saying they would get extra vacation time, or they would get extra money?
Extra money.
Oh, Lord.
And I tried to explain to her, I said, what do you profit? To gain the whole world and, lose your soul. She's got several certificates and stuff that she did, along with, a good paying full-time job. And just money hungry.
So you're saying, I want to hang my hat on this one. So you're saying that the corrections facility, state of Maryland, I hate to say that, is paying correctional officers extra money, like overtime or hazard pay, to come in, even though they know that they have guards have the virus. You didn't just say that, did you?
No, I said once you find out that you have it, and you call the job and tell them that you have it, give them the doctor name who said that you has it, and right then they'll tell them that you are quarantined until further notice. And at that point, the COVID-19 pay steps in.
Pays the guard.
Huh?
The COVID-19. The corrections facility pays the guard a special pay for staying home and being quarantined.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be an incentive for some people to get it?
Because they deal with so many people.
Yeah.
And now they have to test everyone that she's been in contact with, right?
Exactly. That's what I can't understand, but that's the way they're doing it.
Okay. Well,
because they're saying that they know that she's, around thousands of people.
Yeah.
And then in her classes, because she's a teacher, she teaches the correctional officers how to be correctional officers. So
right. I mean, and she continued to go, even though she had, she thought she was sick.
Well, she had took the test a little over a week ago, and it said negative. It was just the flu. But then yesterday, she couldn't breathe.
Okay.
So she went back to the hospital yesterday, and that's when they told her. They told her that they was going to do the quick test, and within an hour, came back and told her she was positive.
Gotcha. Wow.
So
she thought at first it was just, a cold or whatever. But then when it got worse, and then they confirmed that it was COVID-19.
Right. So how long? She said it was really undiagnosed for quite some time before it started having some symptoms. She could have been spreading it around all over the place. And the facility should have had PEPs, testing, and everything else for that population, for their own guards. If they appreciated their guards, if they valued their employees, they would have had it.
Well,
what do you think, Dr. McKenzie?
I agree with you, but there's a shortage, kind of everywhere of those tests that need to be, that need to be handed out. Hopefully they had the proper equipment as far as like the mask and the gloves and stuff like that they were using.
No.
Well, they weren't supplying them, but I gave her the face mask, the plastic ones that you wear over your head. I gave her 3 of them, gloves, some sleeves, the footies, pair bonnets, So I made sure, that she had enough equipment, and she was wearing it. Because when she called me and told me that she was going to work, she was like, "But I don't have any type of equipment." And being that I own that type of business, so I have the PPEs. So I gave her enough to, hold her for a while. And so she was protecting herself.
Right.
But either because she's very athletic too. So it was either her immune system that was pretty high and her tolerance and stuff that let it go that long. Or greed. I don't know. I hope it wasn't greed.
That's something to think about there. She's in good shape, good health, have equipment on, and still got it. Lord, listen, if you have an opinion, you can call in. If you have suffered from the virus and have survived, then call in at 1-914-205-5353, 1-914-205-5353. The pandemic mountain is not a mountain you really want to climb. You don't want to approach it.
You got that right.
I'm telling you. But if you have to climb it, my God, God can bring you out on the other side. Now, there's some people, Pastor Tuck, you and I have had the virus. You had it. I was misdiagnosed with it. But there's some people who are just, I guess they are up in the heavens. They are so celestial and powerful and VIP-ish that they don't really get regular issues that we commoners get. And I will bring it over here to my volunteer co-host, Dr. McKenzie Jr. You haven't suffered from anything, have you?
No, sir, I haven't. But at the same time, one, I'm not going anywhere unless I absolutely have to, which is like to the market and come back or places like that.
You mean you don't have your servants actually buying food for you and delivering it to your house, to your mansion?
Not at all. So, and honestly, it's just the thing of being, just being careful, to be, to listen to what they're telling me to do. This is what I do. They tell you not to go anywhere. You don't go anywhere unless you absolutely have to. When I go somewhere, honestly, it's only to the store, to grab something. I'm going to get what I need to get. I'm getting in, I'm getting out, staying in line, doing the the distancing, the social distancing that they're telling you to do. When I get back home, washing my hands, things like that, just to make sure of that I'm covered, because I do have a mask that I'm able that I wear, because it's mandatory for us to wear the mask.
No. That's an executive order, which is a official suggestion. It's not something that can be enforced by law, according to the analysts at Court TV.
Well, you can listen to Court TV all you want to, but if you go to Walmart and you don't have a mask, you're not getting in. I'm gonna tell you that.
That's so true.
I can
so,
as long as I ain't
they are not letting you in the stores without a mask on. I'm just telling you. So you can think
That's
that you
so
don't
true.
have to wear a mask if you want to.
Hold
but
on a second. Now, Mike Pence can walk through NATO and the hospital and not wear a mask. A great leader. Example, President Trump can.
And Mike Pence is the Vice President of the United States. None of us are the Vice President of the United States. So we don't have that privilege.
So, I don't care who you are. You got to abide by the rules.
But
you act
now, his excuse was the dumbest excuse of that was something
really?
that Donald Trump that I would expect on.
I didn't hear.
What did he say?
He said he's not going to wear a mask because when he look at people, he want to look at them straight in their eyes and give his condolences and stuff.
Oh.
What does a mask have to do with your eyes?
Exactly. Nothing.
You're not covering your eyes, you're covering your face.
And the thing is, didn't he?
Huh?
He didn't wear the mask one day, and then the next day didn't he have one on? If I'm not mistaken, that I saw.
Well,
You
maybe
must
they
be
got
confusing him with
but I know when they asked him why you don't, he said because I want to look the people in their face when I talk to them. What
is
does
he
that
drinking?
have to do with not
Is he drinking the same Kool-Aid? Is he drinking the same Kool-Aid that Trump drinks? He's just saying, all right, I'm not wearing a mask.
Well, he is. Well, Trump is pouring the Kool-Aid for him.
Oh my God!
So
insanity flavor.
I wouldn't trust that man. I wouldn't trust that man to give me a can of air to put in a flat tire.
the orange one. Okay.
But yeah,
oh my God.
That just goes to show you the poor example of leadership. Here you are, the Vice President of the United States. You're telling people, that they have to wear these masks, and not. It wasn't even the fact that he didn't have a mask on to me, but he was in a hospital. He was at a hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's at a hospital where you have the most susceptible people.
Exactly.
And and even though I think him and Trump had been tested, and their test came back negative, where they didn't have it or whatever. Still, the fact that you are, that you were going to a hospital where people are already sick as it is, but you're going to be around them. You aren't even covering yourself. Now, I believe they might have. I believe they had the mask on. He didn't have his mask on, but everybody else that was with him had a mask on.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why he didn't have a mask on, sir, and the reason why, according to a posting on Facebook that actually showed, people were moving chairs around at the press conference before it started or after it started. Ended, was talking offline, and they were caught on an open mic saying that it was all a hoax, and the fact that they had already had their vaccine. So when you already had your vaccine that you had in September of 2019, you don't need to wear a mask. You don't need to stay in the shores.
Wait a minute. How are you even going to say no? How are you going to say that there was a vaccine in September of 2019 when there wasn't even a breakout in 2019, September 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Let me update you.
But
I have a friend
It was.
Okay, go ahead.
Technically, if you really want to go back to the date, 61 years ago in Wuhan, China. And from then, the reason that it's called COVID-19, because it started in 19. If it started in 20, it would be called COVID-20. It started in 19 in the United States.
And it's one of several.
COVID-19, not COVID-20.
Thank you, sir.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. Wake up, sir.
Oh.
It knocked him out. He was so mystified.
The COVID-19 virus actually started in 2019. That's why it was called COVID-19. If it didn't start till 20, it was said COVID-20.
Got you.
And
right.
Actually, even before then, again, like I said, 61 years ago, in Wuhan, Li Shen was a scientist who invented it. He was a government employee, and what's the guy named Dean Koontz, who was a government employee, and you can look that up in his book. And the book was written 81. Would that be? Yeah, that would be 61 years.
No, not 81. Right? That wouldn't be 61 years. No. That would be 41.
No. I'm sorry. Right. That's when the book was written. But it started 81 years ago. And Kuntz, he will tell you about it. They wound up killing the government, wound up killing Li Chang. They sent him to prison, and he died. And they claimed that they didn't know, why he died or nothing like that. But it was so many, things and saying why they killed him. So they've been knowing about this. And in his book, he said in the year 2020 that this would be in full effect. And as quickly as it comes, it's going to kill as many people very fast, and then it's going to disappear very fast.
Well, here's my thing, and I don't, like I said, I don't know the backstory of the virus and everything like that. I do know it was started its beginnings was in the Wuhan, China, and everything like that.
No. That's what Trump has said. I have a pastor friend who is actually an environmental engineer, and I ran the story he told me by my cousin who's an environmental engineer in PA, and he, although they never met, he agreed with the gentleman that it was started or conceived, this branch or this batch was conceived in a laboratory here in Baltimore on Bel Air Road, that it was traded to scientists in Wuhan, and with the hope that they would mishandle it, which they did. But it was hoping that they would stay over there.
I'm not believing in that theory and everything like that. But here's my thing. I mean, unless it can be, like I said, unless it can be proven, I'm not going with that. Now I do believe that it is. You can say about what you're thinking. I know this person. Can I finish?
No.
Can I finish?
Well, Pastor Tuck, were you a referee this? Was I actually talking before you cut me off?
No, I was speaking, I believe.
Go ahead, sir. I'll condescend. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is I have no idea about the beginnings of it. All I know is I do believe in the conspiracy theory of the virus being put out there in order to be able to do what I call is the the purging, because I just honestly believe that there's this purge that goes on throughout this world, country, and everything else every number of years, because they need to get rid of a certain population. China being one that is one of the most. I think they have like 1 billion people there or whatever. So the only way that you can do that is by this is one of my other theories. They need to get rid of a certain number of people, and the only way that you can do a mass eradication of people is by creating a virus that will be able to, get people as a whole, in great numbers. So you create a virus that can spread quickly, do what they want it to do. And not only do you purge people, but you also purge businesses, all of those things that come along with it. Now, that's part of what I believe happened and what is going on with this. But I think even if the virus was created back in 81, as the pastor was saying, I listened to her name was Susan Rice, who was the National Security Advisor. She's done several interviews, and she was talking about the government, since we had gone through several epidemics or pandemics, which you're talking about with Bush. I think the son, I think he dealt with, was it SARS that he had dealt with? But there was the SARS, H1N1, and then that one, and there's one other one, because I think Bush, the son, had dealt with one, President Obama dealt with one, and then I want to say, I don't know if Clinton was the other president, but since those three presidents had dealt with have dealt with viruses, when President Obama got in office, he created this department within the NSA that dealt with nothing but viruses around the globe. That if something were to break out, such as this, there was in place for the United States a kind of standard operating procedure for what was to happen.
Exactly.
It would, once it was triggered, these were the things that were supposed to be done. Now, she talked about they had done it. It was like she said it was a 69-page manual that they gave to the Trump administration. She said they more than likely either just threw it away, put it on the shelf, didn't pay any attention to it. And as I don't know if you're all aware, but he disseminated that particular department.
Mm-hmm.
He broke it up. So that department wasn't there in order to be able to protect us when this was going to happen. Because if they've shown some footage, President Obama said this was going to happen.
Yes, he did.
It wasn't a thing of if. It wasn't a matter of if. It was when. It was going to happen, and that's why they put this in place so that we had something in place to be able to know what to do. Dr. Susan Rice, she said it gave you from A to Z everything that they needed to do, what to do,
exactly,
act, all
and
of those things.
Trump said he's a businessman, and
right.
He said that he hates to hire people and see them sitting around doing nothing. And he said when he saw that panel sitting there doing nothing, what do we need them for? They're fired.
Wow.
And Trump said that out of his own mouth.
What is it?
He said he's a businessman, and that's what he was. He made a business decision. He wasn't thinking about he's the president of the United States. He's making a worldwide decision.
Right.
It's not just the people in your circle, although you may have a lot of land and all that kind of stuff and a lot of material things. It's still not your world. You know,
Right.
now it just behooves me how they're giving so much authority to this one man.
He takes it. He takes it over the back of yellow-backed, little-livered Republicans.
Is he taking it, or is he? I don't say manipulating, but he's using. Well, I think he's being used, and he's also using the Republican Party to be able to do what it is that he wants to do.
He's a gangster.
Oh, no, I think he's a wannabe gangster.
No,
his father was a pimp.
Huh?
His father was a pimp. His grandfather was a KKK. And
Right.
A pimp.
Was a member of the KKK.
And running some other illegal businesses and stuff.
Right.
So that's where their money came from.
Absolutely.
And so what can you expect? Like they say, the apple don't fall far from the tree. And if you got somebody who's the grand poobah, whatever they call themselves, wearing them sheets over their head, who everybody listens to when he said, "Let's go find ourselves some niggers and take care of everybody
on a program, sir. You can't say that word on this here program. Listen, Mitch McConnell is a grand poobah wizard himself.
I didn't. If you think about it, how did I say it? Need.
Help me out, please. Somebody call in at 1-914-205-5353. I've got. Got you saying that. I got Dr. McKenzie trying to raise his voice over top of the host. Leora.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Mama, Dr. McKenzie is out of place. Can you put him back in place, please?
I can't do that. Sorry.
Thank you. Raise your voice, sir.
Thank you.
Let him know. Raise your voice. Husband. God bless you.
Do that.
So when I just relayed information that I got from a very good friend of mine, and I believe this man is one of the most honest people I know, who happens to be an engineer. So if he tells me this is where it came from, I believe it. What else does, I don't care. So that's how we. And then my cousin verified it, and he's an engineer up in PA, and so he's one of the most honest people I know. Thank you.
And that's fine. That may have been what happened. But my point was bringing it all the way from Wuhan to here. If the mechanism was put in place or kept in place that we had in place to be able to handle a potential pandemic, then it would not have gotten to the level that it's gotten right now. Because it would have been stopped, but part of my conspiracy theory too is this was part of, if we want to say China, even testing us as a country to see what they could get away with, i.e., not just China, but you talk about Russia, you talk about North Korea, you talk about Saudi Arabia, all those people that want to see the demise of our country. So they put this pandemic into action because they know the idiot that we have in the White House, that we are at our, and I said this to my best friend the other day, we as a country are at the most susceptible point I've ever seen us as a country. We are at our weakest right now when it comes to leadership and everything else. We really are. So, hey, this would be the opportune time to do exactly what you were saying. Hey, if I sell it to China, China has this virus that they can use, that they can implement. Hey, they started over there, and then that thing is going to go global, even though it all of the other countries may be collateral damage, but the main object is who? The United States.
I'm
just saying.
I see a moment here. Pastor Tuck, can you give me one of those character voices? And I'm going to play it out here. What you just said, Dr. Kenzie, I'm going to play it out. And so let's go over to, let me see. I'm going to go You go to Jamaica, I go to China. You ready? Here we go. I don't believe that the President Trump has loosened the pandemic and cut it off. Can you believe it?
Well,
the commission heard it.
Well, man, let me tell you one thing. If it's supposed to be like that, man, that's the way it's going to be. Do you understand me now, man?
I understand you, but he lead the country wide open for destruction. I don't understand the orange one.
No one understands the orange man. No one. He is too confused. If it wasn't for another show, if it wasn't for a Christian show, I would say here's somebody me. He said that he never had a drink. He never smoked. Maybe he needs some, maybe him needs some ganji or something, because he is off, man.
Yes, he is.
Let me tell you 3 times.
Tell me 3 times,
Let me tell you 3 times. If you don't get it right now, it just might be too late. Get him out of there and quickly.
You can put him on longboat with straw hat.
Huh?
Put him in rice fields with patties. Well, if we could get maybe Dr. McKenzie could take him on one of his yard-long yachts and take him over to one of his secret hideouts in the in Panama.
Whatever. This thing is. I mean, and people have to understand that this thing is serious. I have one of my friends. He works for USAID. He had to come home. He was over in Africa. He had to come. Well, they had the option. I don't say he had to come home. He had the option of staying over there or coming and working from here in the States. And because of his family, his mother-in-law was up in age and she was sickly. So they didn't want to be in a position where they were over in Africa and something happened to her, and they didn't have the medical capacity to really deal with this. So they thought it was better to be here and deal than to be over there. He came home, brought his mother-in-law, brought his kids with him. They are here now until all of this stuff is over because of the effect that it's having over in Africa. Have another friend of mine that they've closed down places over in Africa. So this thing is not just here. I mean, everybody's seen it is global. Yeah. And you're talking about from one, and I don't know how big Wuhan is, the population of Wuhan, but from one town in China, we've had millions of deaths worldwide.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very, very relevant point, sir. Let me ask you a question for people who are listening or who will listen, who are just average people like myself. What is a AID or MAID? What is that?
No, USAID. It's the part of the government that they do several things. And it's aid. They provide aid to different other countries. But what he does, him and his wife both work for USAID, is they work with other governments, helping them with the development of their culture, their agriculture, whether it's their agriculture, their infrastructure, all of those things. So he works.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So you're internationally connected. Just explain it.
No, I'm not. He works for him, not me. He actually works over there, not me. I just know him. So.
Hold on a second. Lady Leora.
Yes.
Did you know that Professor Leroy McKenzie Jr. was internationally connected with seats of government and power in other lands?
Oh, I did not know.
At all.
Did you know that, sweetheart?
I did not know. I did not know.
That's why he wears all those fancy designer clothes.
Whatever. but this is this was the opportune time for something like this to happen. And if you are an enemy of the United States and you looked at the makeup of who our government has in its control right now, the administration that's in, you know that administration is nowhere near the type of leadership that we've had in this country. Whether we like it or not, there was never, I believe, there was never this kind of threat that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this 3.5 years, they knew, hey, this is if we gonna do it, we're gonna have to do it now, unfortunately. And hopefully,
the clown.
Right. And the same thing goes for what you were talking about earlier about the other aspects of our government that are looking to, that were manipulating and using Trump, because they're doing nothing but using him to be able to put forth their agenda, getting their agenda done, and they know they only have a small window.
Yeah,
they only have this small window
because he's usable.
And I don't know if y'all heard about this the other day too, was that Mitch McConnell was trying to call back the Senate to get them to come back to Washington so that they could vote on a federal judge that he's trying to get through.
Sneaky.
So you got things like this all of these things that are going on amidst this pandemic, which is to kind of keep us focused on something else other than what the agenda that they have and that they're trying to bring forward and set in place things so that even if Trump isn't there and he loses in November, which I'm hoping that he does, that they will have those those staples in place that will that'll secure what it is that their agenda that they're trying to get done.
Well, so far it sounds pretty depressing when you can't go out. You're almost like a 15-year-old. You can't stay out past 8 o'clock. I mean, please, can I do something else? I mean, there's no movies, there's no nothing. I don't know, but Pastor, can you give us some kind of hope, some kind of encouragement?
If Trump can come in and said, I want to change this because Obama did this. I want to change that because Obama. I want to fire this person because Obama hired him. I want to fire that person because why can't Biden come in regardless of who he put in place? When Biden is president, can he do the same thing? I don't want you.
Yes, he can.
I don't want you. I don't want you. Get out. So worrying about them having things in place, I wouldn't even sweat that. Because Joe Biden is actually going to go by what Obama left him and what Obama is still teaching him.
Absolutely. But the only thing I'm talking about is the federal judges, because those federal appointed judges have lifetime appointments. So they can't be removed. That's what I'm talking about.
Are you sure about that?
Removed. Yeah. They have the position. Look it up.
So
federal judges, federal judges, they have lifetime appointments, which is a sad thing. That's why they're trying to get them in there. That's what they're trying to. That's why they're trying to get them in place, because they can't be removed.
What was that last?
So if they can't be removed, if they can't be removed, that means that they've been there the whole time?
If they've been appointed.
They've been there 20
they've already
years.
been appointed, yeah.
They don't
Any of
care.
the judges that have been appointed,
Right.
they've been appointed now.
So
they can't be removed.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying that Mitch McConnell was trying to get this federal judge in now, because he knows if he doesn't get that federal judge in, and Trump loses in November, they won't be able to do that. And hopefully Mitch McConnell will lose his spot too as the Speaker of the Senate.
He needs to go.
Well, absolutely.
Well,
honestly, that's where the power is.
But if they can't, if they cannot, if their positions, if their positions are lifetime, that means that they were there when Obama was there, and as much as things were trying to be stopped, he still went through it.
No, there's several vacancies. There's several federal court positions, judge positions that are vacant, so they have to be filled. So they're trying to fill those vacant spaces. There's not anybody that's there that they're trying to pull away. They can't do that. It's the spots that are vacant. There's some vacancies in those federal judgeships. So those are the positions that they're trying to fill.
Right, with a Republican view.
Right, and once they're appointed, they have lifetime. They have lifetime terms, or I should say, they have lifetime appointments. So they can't be removed. It would have to be something very, very egregious for them to be removed.
Clarence Thomas has been there forever.
Right, and that's what the Supreme Court. Even Kavanaugh. That was the point of getting Kavanaugh appointed.
Kavanaugh should not have been there at all. He should not have been there at all.
Absolutely.
Rapist, drunkard. So anyway, so that shifts the balance of power. If you can get on the Supreme Court to be Republican and view-minded and conservative or whatever it is that you want, then you establish your power base and your legacy forever.
Not just the Supreme Court. You're talking about those federal, which is right below those federal judges. That's where the power is too. That's where the real power is.
Mm.
That's what people aren't watching, because that's what's going on. That's what Mitch McConnell and all of his cronies are after. They're after those judgeships.
And
they're
if you do that,
judgeships.
If you do that, then you have William Barr, who's actually going to the federal judges to get his mandates, where he's trying to take away your civil rights and to give the police extra authority to search your car and search your home and do all kinds of stuff to you without any kind of reprisal.
Giving you $1,200. Giving you $1,200 to keep your mouth shut, and then they talk about giving you another stimulus, a second stimulus.
Vote for
to
me.
Keep your mouth shut even more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people just, well, maybe it ain't too bad. Please.
I want them to vote for me, Donald Orange Trump.
And
You're
that was probably part of the reason why he wanted his name on those checks.
Yeah, you better be reminded of who did it for you. Listen, Leora.
I'm here.
My name is Donald Trump. I want you to know who did it for you when you paid your bills. Hey, Donald Orange Trump. You better recognize.
You notice he's wearing his hair differently now?
Oh dear, is it can you really tell?
He got a big part on the side.
Oh my God.
Part is okay. That it looks like he's bald.
Oh my God. Somebody had a posting on Facebook about Dennis the Menace, and then had him the older version. Mackenzie, stop it, sir. Stop it before we get in trouble.
I ain't did nothing.
Leora, pray for all these people.
I ain't even said a word.
Leora, pray for all these here people. We're gonna have guys in SUVs and suits pulling up at the door. That's
exactly. I don't need nobody showing up in my room.
Is your name Pastor Steve Turner? I said, no, sir. My name is Dr. Lee Junior. All right, books. And our own business name, J&F Enterprises. That's all I know. Well, what do you new do you have upcoming, Dr. McKenzie? Any new authors you're supporting or sponsoring, or?
Well, I don't have any authors that I'm well, I have a couple of authors that will be coming out with their projects pretty soon, and then I have the National Christian Writers Conference is coming up. The 15th and 16th.
Tell us about that.
It's virtual. No, it's virtual. It's virtually, and the information, I should have all of the information by next week. As far the dates are the 15th and 16th. The itinerary is all set up and everything like that. I just need I'm just waiting to get the all of the links and stuff like that for people to be able to register and to be able to be a part of it and everything. It's going to be a great 2 day conference of writers for writers, and then also there are going to be their panel discussions and workshops that'll be going on, all virtual, of course, virtually. You'll be able to do everything. Everything will be done virtually.
What time is it?
And it's Friday, the 15th. It's going to be Friday evening from 6:30 to 9:30, and that's I think that has a women's kind of geared towards it, and then all day Saturday there'll be workshops. The workshops that will be going on, and the panel discussions.
What time does that start?
That actually starts at 8 o'clock.
8 in the morning.
It'll go from 8 to 4, I believe it is.
Okay.
It'll be from 8 to 4. And I'll send you the I'll send you the information once I have everything that's supposed to be confirmed and sent to me.
If folks want to join that, do they call you directly?
No, they'll actually be. You should be able to go because they have a Facebook page, the National Christian Writers Conference. I believe that is. There's a page, and then there'll be an event. There'll be an event event page that you can register with as well.
You hang up in the light, sir. Did I tell you, Pastor Tuck is a big shot? National Christian Conference Writers. I tell you. Yeah, heavyweight. That's why they call him the doctor.
I know that's right.
Yeah, he even let a regular old person like myself hang around. He's actually he's actually published two of my books, two of my books, and it's just I'm just amazed and privileged to call him my friend and compadre. Yeah.
Okay.
What are those books, Dr. McKenzie?
The Pulpit and I believe, isn't it called Stormproof? I think it is.
Yes,
isn't that
it
what
is.
That is?
Yeah, we're going through a storm now.
Exactly. So this is the perfect book for what people may be going through right now, and to understand how they are stormproof and equipping them to be stormproof.
God bless you. And I don't want to reveal this because we have a pastor on the line, because sometimes pastors do this kind of thing, but it's a collection of sermons. So sometimes, you may hear your sermon preached by another pastor if you got the book.
They don't do that, do they? They don't do that,
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All day. Just go to Coachbury.
That's one thing I could never understand. Why people try to claim their word.
Yeah.
God gave it to you, and if I'm standing there and I hear something that you said, and I see the way that it actually woke people up, and they got excited and wanted more, I ain't gonna lie to you. I may use that right from the beginning. I heard this from Pastor so-and-so.
Right.
Because God's word is God's word.
For sure.
No matter who it comes from. So for somebody to even, and if you do decide to use someone else's sermon, they ought to be thankful.
As if you're doing a good job. Better do a good job with it.
Because so many,
you better do a good job. Do it justice.
Hey.
Yep. Now, let me ask you a question. Does Bishop Walter Scott Thomas use, because that's where you attend, Dr. Kenzie? And how do you feel that you can't go to the house of God and be in the fellowship of the saints corporate worship? How's that? It's been a while now. How's that making you feel?
Well, for me, I miss the fellowship as far as being in the same building and everything like that. But one of the things that I love about my pastor is he's not afraid to think outside the box. One, what we've done as a church, one is he does his regular services on Sunday about the Bible study that he has, but the ministries that we are a part of, we've been fortunate enough to stay connected virtually through Zoom. Matter of fact, I just had two of the ministries that I'm a part of. We just had our meeting. I'm on the Empowering Disciples magazine ministry for the church, and then the Honor Guard ministry. Both of those ministries.
Hold on, sir. Hold a second. Now. Let's put the brakes on. Honor Guard would suggest that you have some military experience, which I don't know.
No. I have no military experience at all. No. There was no military experience required for us to be on the Honor Guard, but we did have to go through training in order to be able to understand how to march and everything like that. The marching that we do. Those the small little things that we needed to know. But no, now some of the other brothers that are part of the Honor Guard, they do have the military, background and stuff like that. But me,
you mean you have uniforms? You got uniforms? Huh? You have uniforms?
Say that again.
You wear a uniform?
Our uniform is a tuxedo.
Oh Lord, that's not a real Honor Guard. Hold on a second. Any real Marines, Army, Navy SEALs can call in and help us out. Show them what real Honor Guard. 1914-205-5353. God bless you. Please help me. Go ahead, sir. Tuxedo.
No, what we do is we march in our communion services. And then sometimes when Bishop Thomas is in his capacity of bishop, we'll usher in the service. That's what our Honor Guard does. Coming in, and our uniform is a tuxedo with a sash that has the logo emblem of the
church
of the church on it.
You wear a top hat?
No, we do not wear top hats. We didn't. It's a tuxedo, but it's not meant for to wear a top hat with. The sash is the sash. It's an official uniform.
You let my sister Emma Jean Johnson sing y'all in?
Say that again.
does he let my sister Emma Jane Johnson Richardson? She lead y'all in with a song?
Well, no, they usually have. We'll have. It's usually how when we come in, it's just after they've done praise and worship, and they just have music playing. So we're not coming in while somebody's singing. It's like kind of like a what do you call it? Just marching music, they call it, or whatever. So that when we come in, folks kind of know that the service is officially starting, and people when they hear that music, they know that the service is about to begin, and everybody's supposed to kind of stand up, to acknowledge the service and everything like that. So I had both of those.
Oh, sorry. We can't talk about new psalmists without talking about something special. Leora, do you want to give a shout out? You want to give a shout out to your sister who is a minister on the rostrum at New Psalmist?
Yes, I give a shout out to Reverend Craig, who's my sister.
What's her whole name?
What's her
whole name?
Her name is Margaret Craig. They call her Mississippi.
Oh, okay. That name, I'm not good with names, but maybe if I saw her face, I'm sure I've seen her before.
She's real short.
About 4'8", 4'9".
But you do know who Emma Jane Johnson Richardson is, right?
Probably if she's the one that sung the Cummings funeral.
She's the what?
Elijah Cummings service.
The soloist.
Two people are talking about.
She opened it up.
I don't know. I don't know her personally, but yes, I've definitely heard her sing before. Yes.
Oh no, she doesn't sing.
No, we're not talking about your sister. He talked about it.
He's talking about biological sister. We grew up together from like kindergarten.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we've always called each other. We grew up like back then you were family.
Yeah,
right.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
In and out of her house, and she was in and out of my house, playing with my sisters and all that kind of stuff. We were all, considered brothers and sisters.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I apologize for my wife burning into your version of the conversation. So I will deal with her directly after this program.
Hey, you know what? Something I learned a long time ago.
What you learned, sir?
You can tell a marriage couple everything you want if you're performing the sermon.
Yeah.
The marital sermon.
Uh-huh.
But if you didn't perform that sermon, don't you ever try to jump in between what's going on. Keep your mouth shut. Because I jump on either one of your sides, the next one ain't gonna like me.
You supposed to be my friend.
Either she gonna say, "Oh, he's just doing that because he's your friend," and then if I jump on her side, I thought you was my friend. Why you gonna jump on her side? No, I keep my mouth shut.
You're a wise man, sir. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
That's right.
That's right.
If I didn't bring y'all two together, it ain't my business who's right and who's wrong.
Well,
I pray
Pastor Tuck, somebody's about to bring Mackenzie together. He's about to go on that other side too, young fella.
Congratulations.
Got down on his knee on the stand and was begging, please, whatever you do, can I be your husband for life?
And
I'll give you all my treasures and riches and wealth if you just take me.
And
all my empire of writing will be yours.
Yeah, it's definitely
y'all
time
don't hear me.
It's definitely time. Mama, is it Pastor's dead? Ain't it Pastor's dead time?
We done been almost 2 hours.
Hey, I can't fault. His glasses got fogged up when he was on his knees. Baby, please take me.
Yeah, it's definitely time to do. It's time to shut this show down.
Lord have mercy. Did you wear your tuxedo, sir?
Not at all.
With a bouquet of flowers in the tuxedo.
Yeah, say good night. It's 8 o'clock. Say good night. Yeah, it's time to go.
No, it's my show. No. So, Pastor Tuck, I'm sorry, sir, as you had to experience this situation here. Dr. McKenzie Jr. and I often bump heads over ideologies, but you were being the relevant and resolving person. Can you give us the listeners some moment, something to be encouraged by as they are going through this tough time of being in this pandemic situation? Is there any hope? Is there a God that they should be looking to? Pastor Tuck?
Yes. Are you talking to me?
I'm talking. Oh my God!
Yes.
I'm trying to program
hope.
you. I'm trying to build you up and set you up, sir. Let me ask you the question one more time. Is there a God that you can answer? Is there a God that the people can't? Was that a plane?
Yes. I don't know what it is, but it's
maybe it's the new surveillance plane by the police department of Baltimore City.
okay. But yes, there is a God. And is there hope? Definitely. But you got to have faith. Believe in what you say. Many times we get caught up in what we see through this carnal mind of ours. But sometimes we just have to look a little harder and seek a little higher. We got to look to the hills from which cometh our help. And don't let nothing, nobody, no one separate us from the love of God. And if you can keep that in mind, that nothing is going to separate you from the love of God. It's like David said, though he slay me, Job, I'm sorry, yet will I serve him. Some of us feel like we've been slaves. Pastor, you're a survivor. I'm surviving.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're going through this COVID-19, you can feel like God has turned his back on you. But because you know God and who he is and what he is and who you are and whose you are, you can tell this mountain, be ye removed. And so shall it be. So trust in the Lord with all your might and lean not to your own understanding, so that can get you in trouble. But in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will. Let me say that part one more time. He will direct your path. And although you might hit some bumps here and a little bump there, don't give up. Be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap the greatest rewards. Bless you.
That's awesome. Dr. McKenzie, I appreciate that, Pastor. Dr. McKenzie, what words of wisdom do you want to tell some folks who are kind of thinking they're on their last leg here through the pandemic, business owners who can't do the business and who are suffering, they've got all kinds of personal bills and business bills, and just can't see a way out? What do you have to tell them, sir?
Well, one, here's the thing, just to kind of piggyback off of what Pastor was just saying. One, this is when you want to be leaning into and lean on God most of all, first and foremost, because he gives us the strength to endure through all of this. Because the word says the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to him that endure to the end. And what this pandemic is about, this shift, I don't even want to say pandemic, what this shift is about enduring till the end. So this is your attitude is what's going to determine how you get through this, because this isn't the time to be sulking. This isn't the time to have the pity party. This isn't the time to be just sitting home watching TV, hours upon hours upon hours of TV, or on your phone, hours upon hours on the phone. You need to be productive. If you are a business owner, then you need to be working. Figure out. It's not about the mission has not changed for you with your business. It's only about how you accomplish your mission that has changed. So you may not be going to a brick and mortar building now, but what you do is you do what you do from the environment that you are in now, whether it's using your phone as a tool, not as a toy, is what I say. If you use it as the tool, then you begin to do what I talked about earlier this week was developing. What are you developing? What are you developing in you? What are you developing in your business now? Because there should always be some kind of development that's going on. Putting a schedule in place, putting a structure in place for you, putting accountability in place for you, holding yourself accountable. If you need to, if you had a schedule when you had a time where you wake up at 8 o'clock, by 8:30 you out the door, or 8:45 you out the door, you had your drive time, you got to work, the first thing you did when you got to work was this, all of those schedules, you want to be doing the same thing. Now you just don't have the commute. You get up, you get up. If you got to take a shower to get yourself going for that day. Get your schedule together. Put your schedule together in order to be able to, hey, I'm going to check my emails at a certain time. I'm going to allot myself an hour, 2 hours to do this. I'm going to myself an hour or 2 hours to be able to do this. Hour, 2 hours to be able to do this. Making sure that you stick and hold yourself accountable to a schedule that you have. Don't let this shift that's happening be a disruption to you. Use it as an opportunity to be able to, when you come out on the other side, that you say, I'm determined not to be the same as I was before we went into this. So that would be what I would say.
That's heavy.
Exactly.
And
if I just add one more thing. Go ahead, preacher. I'm blessed to have my own business that now I have one of my employees who, has a truck, has one of my trucks. And so now when I got a call, I just call him and, he's going to make my reviews and stuff. And, I found someone that I could trust, they won't be running all up and down the street and stuff with my equipment. Right. And, so I'm not writing any calls. Yeah. So sitting here and stuff being quarantined, I'm still building a business. But if you don't first trust God and allow God to put people in your life that you can trust,
absolutely,
you won't make it.
Not at all.
I want to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Pastor Tuck. Okay. Have you enjoyed your time on this program?
Yes, I have.
All right. Do you think how would you rate Dr. McKenzie Jr.'s participation in this program, sir?
I give him a 10.
10? That's a little too high. But I'm doing a broadcast evaluation. Should I keep him around? Should I trust him to do this scenario? And we hear crickets. Okay.
What, you talking to
you are? Mama?
I mean, you're crazy.
Listen, Dr. McKenzie Jr. is just causing all types of. What do you think? Let me just forget you. Let me go right to my queen.
Oh, my God.
The love of my life. Do you think that Dr. McKenzie Jr. would make a good, consistent co-host too?
Most
Sure.
definite.
Okay.
I felt honesty and sternness, from what he was saying.
You said honesty and firmness.
When you yes, like he believed in what he was saying. See, I'm not one of them type of people that always think I have to be right. You can write your way, I speak lies. And one thing that I've learned, every decision that everybody makes, when you make that decision, you think that you're right all the way around. And for somebody else to tell you that you're wrong, and I'm not saying that you say anything wrong, you don't do that. But I really appreciated listening to him, and
really?
like I said, he was stern what he believed, and commented, very strong. I like him. I could talk to him again and again and again.
You do?
Not just talk to him, but listen.
Oh, okay. You don't really know him, but it's okay. Listen, give me your number, Mackenzie.
Man.
Pastor, don't even try to say nothing to me.
Is he asleep or what's going on?
You know what?
Put your number out there, Dr. McKenzie Jr.
Well, if folks would like to connect with me or contact me, they can email me at jnfenterprises@yahoo.com, or they can connect with us at 443-762-2324.
What was that number again?
443-762-2324.
And that's to the red phone, right? The red line. Gotcha.
Red line.
Pastor Tuck, if folks want to join the Church of Transformation Church and catch your virtual sermons, where can they go, and what's the number to call?
Wait a minute. Want to do a little something here? Hold on, let's see.